Well, this season's moving by really quickly as it's now time for week 3 of the 2020 DCFL season. So as we take a look at the current stands in the Eastern Conference, Indianapolis has the lead as Jacksonville's second, followed by Boston, Philadelphia, Baltimore, and New York. And in the Western Conference, Chicago's the only one undefeated with the lead, followed by Oakland, Mexico City, Seattle, San Diego, and Kansas City. And now we take a look at the schedule for week 3 as it will start off with the Boston Red Jackets visiting my Baltimore Charm. Then a huge matchup as the Indianapolis Rapid Stallions visit the Jacksonville Scouts. Whoever wins this is going to have the lead in the Eastern Conference and the only undefeated team left there. And then after that will be New York at Philadelphia. Big one since... Actually, all the Eastern Conference games are big ones since we could have 4 teams be 2-1. Nice start to the year. And then over in the Western Conference, we'll have Chicago visit Kansas City, followed by big one Oakland at Mexico City. Whoever wins that will probably have second that division. And then finally, San Diego at Seattle. So here are the results for week 3 as my Baltimore Charm beat the Red Jackets in a blowout 38-10. And then Jacksonville beat Indianapolis as they are the only undefeated team left in the Eastern Conference. Gave Indianapolis their most earliest loss in their existence. Remember, they started off 6-0 and I think it was like 10-0 last year. Now they're only went to 2-0 this year. And then how about this? Philadelphia beating New York 24-14 as they've now have their best season so far, doubling their win total from last year. Yeah, New York is definitely off to a bad start this year. When you lose to Philadelphia, you know you're in trouble. And followed by that in the Western Conference, as it's Chicago just barely beating Kansas City, who almost made the comeback, and then Mexico City destroying Oakland 31-3. And Seattle finally getting their first win of the year over San Diego 14-13 in a close one. So then we take a look at the updated stands as we see in the Eastern Conference. Jacksonville now leads with Indianapolis second and my Baltimore Charm third, followed by Philadelphia, Boston, and New York. And in the Western Conference, we have Chicago still leading with Mexico City second and Oakland third, followed by Seattle, Kansas City, and San Diego. So only Chicago and Jacksonville remain undefeated, but that's going to change next week. And Kansas City and San Diego are the only teams left remain winless. As we now take a look at the Week 4 schedule, as it'll start off with my Charm visiting San Diego, followed by Seattle visiting Indianapolis, and then the big matchup as Chicago visits Jacksonville. Only one of these teams is going to remain undefeated. I cannot wait to see what it will be. And followed by that will be New York at Mexico City, Boston at Kansas City, and finally Oakland visiting Philadelphia. Man, we're almost a quarter of the way through the season already this quickly, and it's been very interesting so far. I cannot wait to see what happens next week. So tune in, possibly tomorrow, since that's been the case the last few weeks, and see what happens in next week of the 2020 DCFL season.